Thank you very much for all of you who organized this. And I just want to say that Pollux Journal is amazing and sleek. And I'm sorry for the crying children if you can hear them. It's bath time here in Paris. Sorry. I'm going to start by reading my poem that was published in the journal, Real French. So I think you've already read it. It doesn't have that much of another language in it, so I'll just read it without screen sharing for now. If you'll just bear with me 1 second. Oh dear, it's disappeared now. Hang on 1 second. Okay, Real French. My sister, with all her words, doesn't speak real French. And when I'm with her, neither do I. I do not love or laugh inside of it, but I have learned to live and walk alongside it. Real French, proper French, clean and white, encased in glass, polished so bright, moving it anywhere south is bound to leave an unsightly mark. Real French. I speak real French, pursing my lips in a perpetual state of readiness to be kissed, like some stripy stereotype. Real French. Qu'est-ce que c'est? C'est quoi ça? Qui est terrain? As if language was not the love child of invention and circumstance, the loosening of vowels below the equator is but a small reparation to be paid. Real French. I speak real French, even though I stumble between accords and battle with the subjonctif. And I find sometimes, when I feel it all, quand tout est au vif, real French does not speak me. Love the clicks and the jazz hands. I'm just going to try and screen share this next one because it has a lot of Creole in it. If I can find where it has gone on my laptop. Okay, so hang on. How do we screen share? So basically, for those of you who don't know, Mauritius is a very small island in the Indian Ocean. It had no native population to begin with, so it's made up completely from the remnants of the colony, from who were the sugar exploiters, French and English European settlers, African slaves, Indian indentured laborers, which is just a step above slave, East Asian merchants and Middle Eastern merchants. So it's a real sort of mix on the very small island population, 2 million people. What is very particular about Mauritius is that even though there are so many different ethnicities and cultures, there's not much mixture among them. They all live very separate lives, unless you're someone like me who actually is a mix of them, because that does happen, obviously. And this poem and a lot of my poems that I write about Creole are written about the fact that often shame, racialized attitudes, all of these things that still live on after the colony, are transported through language. And this is something that I personally, as a poet and as a person, feel strongly about because, for example, Creole is a language that is spoken by the population. It is the fruit of the mixing of populations from many years ago, but I was never taught it because it was considered vulgar and not useful. And this is something that I regret because it's such a huge part of my culture. And when I go to Mauritius and people hear me speak, even though I grew up there, people look at me like, where are you from? And that's such a strange sort of space to exist in. So this is what this poem is about. I would like to just share this with you. Can you see this? Can you see it or not?
No, there might be a delay.
Now?
I can see it now, yeah.
Yes, okay, so let's go. Gam is a name for grandmother. My Gam speaks in remnants. My Gam says my friends, Ibrahim and Mehdi, ne sont pas des gens à fréquenter. Remnants of some unfounded fear of the unknown, of that veiled neighbor, and their mysterious prayer calls creaking out over the quasi-silence of the pre-dawn. She slaps my wrist when I ask her, qui dit mon Gam, qui position? Pas de créole à table, or patois, as she calls it. Ce n'est pas la langue des gens bien. Remnants of simpler times, when things spoken colored the world, our tiny island in black and white. Un langage vulgaire, she calls it. And the words sound like vomit in her mouth, more than in mine. She is the reason I was never taught. The reason people squint and cock their head when I order fruit in the market or farata in the street. Français, c'est mieux, le vrai français. sharp-edged remnants of colonial caprice, smacking of self-loathing. And yet, as the end creeps upon her, it is the vulgar patois we speak when she tells me stories of my grandfather, qui tiennent homme and papa and Marie, oh, il était tout pour moi, and those Malabar girls who look just like her, but without my gam's greatest pride, her distinguishing feature, besides jet black hair, like a waist-length waterfall, her God-given pair of the brightest, bluest eyes. Thank you very much.